Marathon morning. I am sitting in my car at the trailhead. It turns out it is very cold but dry. So funny, this is almost identical conditions to when I ran my first marathon, although not as humid because I'm not in Florida, but they had a weird cold snap that year and it was like 20 degrees, which is about what it is here now. I am procrastinating a little bit because it occurs to me, I don't think the bathrooms at this park open for another 25 minutes. So, and I kind of have to pee, but what I'm going to do is run one direction for just like a mile and a half and then come back. And by the time I'm back, fingers crossed, the bathroom should be open. And then I can go the other direction for the last, it'll be about, I don't know, 11 or 12 miles and then come back. And, yeah, I'm nervous. It's funny. I'm more nervous for this than I have been for any of my other runs, even though I'm much more well rested because I had 3 rest days before yesterday, which was just a 2-miler, which, I felt really good during, probably because of rest days, probably because it was only 2 miles. So it only took me a little over 17 minutes. It was very cold yesterday too, to the point where I had to cover my ears. Here's what's going to happen though. I'm going to run for like a mile and I'll feel good and then I'll get itchy. And so I actually have pockets in this shirt and I'm just going to shove it in a pocket and hope that the strap from the hydration vest keeps it down because, like these hats, the reason I never wear hats when I'm running, unless it's like a baseball hat to keep water out of my eyes, like if it's raining, is that my head gets super, super itchy. I don't know if I'm like allergic, if I have sensitive skin. I just like, it doesn't matter what the hat is made out of. It's just my skin is like, nope, don't lick. So here we go. And marathon done, achievement unlocked. I'm gonna see if I can get, that is my marathon time. I'm actually very, very happy overall. Like I'm in pain, but happy with the results because my first marathon that I did back a little over 5 years ago, my finish time was 5 hours, 59 seconds. And part of that was I was definitely coming off, like I had an injury that I tried to train through. Don't do that. If you have an injury, just let it rest and you're going to have to rely on the training that you were able to get done. Like you just don't want to go into a race with an injury. My ultimate goal was I needed to PR that. My stretch goal was like 4:30, with like my super secret stretch goal being I wanted to do it in under 10-minute mile, which I think would have put me at like 4 hours, 20 something minutes. And so, the fact that I even almost beat like my 4:15, like dream goal. I'm super, super happy with that. So, I've just mixed up my cachava, which is almost gone now. Because I've been dealing with lightheadedness right after my run, sometimes I don't want to get on the road until this is like fully gone. Because as you can see, based on my eyes, I'm definitely dehydrated. Oh, fun fact, apparently I've never run with my hydration vest in weather this cold because the water in the hose froze. So for the first like 10 miles, I was struggling to get any water out of my hydration vest whatsoever, which is not aided by the fact that, I mean, fortunately the bathroom here was open when I got here. So I was able to use the restroom before I went, but then like 7.5 miles in, I had to pee again. And fortunately I came across a porta potty, but I'm just looking at my body like, you're going to want that water later. And sure enough, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to try to really make sure I'm not running in temperatures that cold. Once it hit like mid-20s, it seemed like the heat coming off my body, I think, and the sun, because it is very sunny today, just melted it. So that was good. But I think I might just have to carry like a separate little container in case I ever have to run weather this cold again, because, it was not fun trying to like manhandle the tube, trying to like heat it up and break up the ice with my hand while I'm running so that I can get a little bit of water. So fun times. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my cachava, get on the road, get home, probably take a nap after I take a shower and stretch and eat like my weight in watermelon. So talk to you later. I am very late on this wrap up. So I ran my marathon on February 24th and it is now March 7th. So a week and a half, I had been planning to get this filmed and up over the weekend after my marathon. But I, surprise, surprise, overdid it. I went on a 4-mile walk on that Saturday with my friend, and then I went on a 3-mile run on Monday. The 3-mile run was part of my training program, but there should have been an extra rest day. My marathon actually got pushed back a day. So I should have had 3 days of rest after my marathon, and instead I had the 3 days of rest before, as I mentioned earlier. And then that was on Monday. I was struggling to get my kid ready and on the bus, and then I forgot to stretch. I was going to stretch as soon as I got done and got wrapped up in other things. So I think it's just some tendonitis in my left foot. I tried to go for like the 3-mile run that I went for ended up kind of re-injuring things. Like it got really irritated. So I took an entire week off. I did a very, very easy, like slightly over 2-mile jog at about an 11-minute mile yesterday. Basically my rule was if it started to hurt, I needed to stop. And I felt like a slight twinge at that 2 1/3 mile mark, and so that's when I quit and I walked back home and made sure to stretch really well. This week I'm supposed to run an hour tomorrow and 3 hours on Thursday. I don't think that is going to happen. I was looking online, and tendonitis, the healing time, usually you want to rest it for 2 to 3 weeks, so I may just basically essentially skip 2 weeks of training, which is not ideal, but it's not the worst case scenario. Like obviously worst case scenario is I injure myself and I don't get to do the race at all. So I only skipped 2 runs for last week. It was just 2 1-hour runs. So and again, that's not gonna really improve my conditioning at this point, just to do those are fairly easy runs for me at this point. And then I did skip a 3-miler and a 10-miler. And again, it looks like I'm probably gonna skip at least a 3-hour run on Thursday. I may try to, we'll see. I just have to see how my foot is doing. I know that most important thing, rest it so it fully heals so I can get ready for the actual race. Plus I have Ragnar in SoCal coming up in a few weeks, and I don't want to be injured for that either. I'll let my teammates down because I can't run, because some of them are counting on me because they know that I'm training for this ultra. So it's like, oh, Rachel will at least be able to finish her legs. Knock on wood, I hope. Anyway, so that's why I haven't posted any updates. I haven't been doing any running. I am right now fully focused on strength training in ways that do not put any sort of impact whatsoever on my foot. I can do a lot of things. I can do squats and lunges and things and they don't seem to hurt at all. So just trying to make sure I keep it moving and like stretch it out, like I said. And I'm going to be using a foam roller later, fingers crossed, to hopefully just keep everything nice and loose so that the tendons don't get stiff and then lead to like further injury or pain. So that's all I've got for this week. So that is both weeks 19 and 20. We're just going to call it good. I will hopefully be able to start back fresh week 21 with a total of 6 weeks then of training left, starting week 21. So if you're out there, if you're discouraged by an injury, just know it happens to everybody. Everyone gets injured. The fastest runners on the planet sometimes get injured and need to rehab. So again, much better off skip a week or 2 if you need to. And I'm saying this kind of to myself right now. Skip a week or 2 if you need to. Get fully recovered so that you can actually perform the run well and not do something that might end up being a long-term injury, or at the very least, like making your race not as fun as you would want it to be. So have a great day, have a great weekend, and I'll post again hopefully soon.